How the hell are we doing today? Boy, it's been a long time with this COVID thing. It's just been a hellacious experience for everybody. In fact, my cameraman here, he survived the COVID and he's ready to go, and I guess we're ready to go. And so with that, let's get on with it. Again, it's Wayne Gravatt with Fishhead Videos, and we'd really like you to view these and definitely hit that subscribe button. So today the fly we're going to do is an interesting name on this fly. It's called A New Way to Fly. And so what this is a Garth Brooks song. It's a hell of a good song, and I thought it was just a real interesting name to come up with. So basically what I did with this fly is I kind of combined, I morphed a crayfish and a stonefly nymph to come up with this. It's a pretty awesome looking bug. I've only used it one place, and I don't have an answer for that. I can't tell you why the hell I haven't, but the only place I've used it is the Elk River in British Columbia, and I killed it on him. So I don't understand why I'm not using it other places, but, you know, given this year, we'll get out there with it. So with that, let's get started on the bug today.
Hang on.
This is the fly we're going to do today, and I do this fly, and at the end of this video we'll show you some other ways that I do this fly. But this is one of the colors that I like a lot. You see this one leg is caught up here. Let's get that baby out there. Huh? There we go. But it's a very interesting looking fly, and I encourage you to tie it. And actually, rather than like with me, I use it. I know it'll be a really good fly in a lot of Montana rivers. And you could use this fly anywhere. You know, this thing is buggy looking. I mean, if I'm a fish, I'm on that thing. All right, let's look at the materials that we're going to do for this fly today. I tied this fly in size 8s to size 2s. This particular one we're going to do today is a 3X long 6. We're going to use this Larva Lace Super Floss in a brown. You could use black in various colors for various ones. Some Crystal Flash. This is a product that's put out by a guy I know in Stevensville, Montana. And I'd encourage you to look at his stuff. It's look at flytiresdungeon.com. He's got some really good materials, some interesting stuff. This is just bead chain that I cut, and that's what we're going to use for the eyes. You can use the lead eyes. I also use those, and they're good. Brown marabou for the tail. This is just a 2mm foam, and I'm going to show you how to cut that and how to trim that as well. And then I'm going to show you a little trick with this yarn. And then for the thread today, this is called Tobacco Brown. So with that, let's get started. Okay, I wanted to show you how I do this foam, and actually in some earlier videos that I did, like Be Charlie Special or Breaking Bad, this is how I'm doing those. So basically you're just going to set a straight edge, and you're going to come right against the straight edge and just cut straight down just like that. So you get a nice even thing. Now you could cut this with scissors, but let me tell you what, it's not the way to go. And you want to cut enough so you have a few of them done, so you don't have to cut them every time you're going to do a fly. That's what I do. But I wanted to show you that. I thought that was something that I forgot in the other videos, and I hope that helps you. The hook we're going to use today is a size 6, 3X long. So I'm going to show you a little trick that helps here. Most tires will cover the base with thread, and that's good. That stops that from sliding. This works a lot better if you just take this yarn like this, just yarn, and this is just odds and ends of pieces of yarn, and I use a lot of stuff like this. I can't use this much in 10 lifetimes, but so you're just going to set that right on top of the hook, shank just like that. Just keep that right on top, nice and tight all the way to the back, right about to the eye of the, or excuse me, to the point of the hook, and you're just going to trim that up. And this really ensures that this stuff doesn't slide. So much like I did stonefly nymphs, we're gonna put the antenna on the front first. So notice how I just bent that in half. I don't tie two different ones, which I've seen in some videos. I frankly don't understand that. So that's just going to go right on top of the hook. just like that. Okay. We'll hold that right there. Secure that. If it's not even, we'll just trim it right now. Good. Okay. Just tie down that tag. No need to cut it off. And we're going to put in some eyes. Again, this is just bead chain. You can buy this in any hardware store. Everybody has it. Ace, hobby shops have it. Again, you can use the lead eyes. They're good. They're fine. Just going to figure eight that in there. Okay, just like that. It's already starting to look like a bug. Okay. All right, we're just going to leave the hook right there. And we're going to get some marabou. Where have I got my marabou? Okay, we're going to take this piece of marabou. We're going to strip some of this bottom stuff. We don't want it really super heavy. And we're just going to pull that together just like that. We want that about half to 2/3 the length of the hook shank. So we're going to set it on there just like that. Notice when I cut it off that I'm going to not tie it in at the end. I'm going to tie it in right there behind the eyes. Just like that. Doesn't matter if those tags are there. That's all going to be covered up anyway. So we're going to just keep that right on top of the hook shank. Just like that. And that piece of yarn that we tied underneath that will ensure that that stuff doesn't turn on you. So that's good. Then we're going to take some crystal flash. This is copper crystal flash. And we're just going to go with one strand. I don't like that strand. And we're just going to fold that in half. Just like that. Doesn't matter if they're even when you tie them on there. We can trim that. We're just going to set that right up on top of the shank of the hook. Don't worry about that tag. It's fine. Okay. And we're just going to pull that where we want it. It's not cooperating. There we go. Just like that. Then we're just going to go in there and trim those ends. Just like that. Then we're going to take a piece of the super floss, and we're going to do the exact same thing with that. We're just going to set that right up on top of the shank of the hook, just like that. Why that one doesn't want to stay in place, yeah, we'll fight that in a minute. Good enough. Okay, now we're going to go with our dubbing. Now this stuff is a little bit hard to dub. It has some small rubber bands, I guess, for lack of a better term. And they give it a lot of life. It's not what you'd call easy to dub. So the caution is not to use too much too quick. See about how much I have on the thread there. I'm just using a little saliva. Okay. And at the end of this, I'll show you some other ones. There's some longer kind of a chenille that you can buy in a hobby store. I've used it. It works pretty well. This a little buggier, gives a little buggier look, which I like. Okay. Okay, that's about right. Okay. Now, we're going to tie a set of legs on each side. So basically, we're just going to set those in there just like that. Again, we'll trim these in just a second. Pull that down, adjust it wherever you want. Lash that down good. Okay, we're going to stand those up and trim them. going to take that piece of foam from the strips that we cut. And again, I just kind of set it in there, tie it in, and then imagine that we're going to fold this over. So then we want to kind of approximate how long we want that front part to be. So we're going to trim this. So look how I did. It's like go right to the corner and cut to the middle of the foam. On both sides. Okay, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to pull them legs back out of the way. We're going to set that foam right on top of the shank of the hook. Just go like that. Okay. Good. Okay. Now we're going to dub with the other dubbing, and this is the least of them. And there's various dubbings that you could use here. This is the product that I really like, and again, I would encourage you to look at that website, flytiresdungeon.com. Gentleman's name is Doug Brewer's. Really got a nice line of products. Dub that up. I'm put a little dubbing right between the eyes. So I'm going to come up like that, figurate that in there just a little bit, just like that. Good. Now, we're going to just pull that over. Just like that. I'm going to tie that right in front of the eyes. I generally put a little dub over the thread. Certainly you can leave the thread there. If you look at all of my flies, I'm not, I usually do not leave thread like that. I like the buggier look to it. That's just my own preference though. Quick finish that in there. Just like that. Off. Now we're just going to take this brush, and this is basically just a wire brush. Works really well for. I usually put just a tiny bend in that fly, just a little bit, just like that. And so there we go. That's a nice looking bug. Again, use it. Now, I wanted to show you just a few other ones that I have here. I'll set out. There are some variations of that you could do. That's with a flash chenille. Again, that's with a dubbed. Here's that longer chenille I was talking about. But you know, you can get creative with this stuff. You can do it in different colors, but that's a good one. A new way to fly. Thanks. Again, get out there, do some fishing, but by all means, view these videos and subscribe and give them help. Oh, and one thing I forgot, I'm used to tying a dozen flies or several dozen flies and then head cementing all of them at the same time. But for purposes here, we'll head cement it right now, and I apologize for getting that. But so I put some by the legs and then again up by the tie off. As I talked about, these are some other variations of this fly. But don't be like me. You can see some have a tail, some don't have a tail, but don't be like me. The only way that this fly is actually good is if you actually take it out there and fish it. A new way to fly, it's a good one. Thanks for viewing and give them hell.